tá.
Okay, so good afternoon once again. I'm joined by two wonderful guys, and they will be able to tell you more about them. So our case is called University of Chuparsky. So let's give them a round of applause and show your hands. Anyone watched University Chuparsky and Chuparsky? Okay, I was surprised about the Patron, and now there's so many people who watch this University of Chuparsky. So anyone who like this series? So we have the creators of this TV series. Nobody's doing a lot of series for the teenagers. We don't have our own kind of extraordinary protagonists, and finally our guys have created something for the teenager. I was really dreaming about those TV series, and now I have an honor to work with Mykhailo, and he's the sound of Patron. He's the scriptwriter, he's a producer, or just a director. Well, in any way, they will be able to tell you more about who they are, what they're doing. So get ready. We're about to start. Then we'll have a Q&A. So I'd like to pass the floor to Mykhailo and Mykola. So good afternoon. My name is Mykola. I'm the chief scriptwriter and the animator. It was my idea to create the University of Chuparsky. We'll start by how I came up with this idea. Okay, not this one. Not this one. That's not the one you wanted? Yeah. So that was the first concept of the protagonist. That's something that dates back 2015. I want to tell you the story, how I came up with the idea of the University of Chuparsky. That's a long story. Starting all the way from 2015. I was a student on the 5th year. I was sitting in the sofa thinking, now, what I'm going to do after the university, because I wasn't a very good programmer. So what can I do? I can draw, I can write. So if I would, combine that, I can do cartoons. So I searched for the first animation software in Google, the free of charge, and started drawing protagonists. I started learning. I spent a lot of time to learn that. But what was the software? It was called Mojo. I don't know if you're aware of that, but the previous version's called in a different way, like Mojo Animated Studio. Yeah. Well, Mocha it's great, really, and a lot of the people starting with that. Anyone using Mocha software? No? Okay. Well, you should pay attention to that. By the way, you can learn if you will develop your own level. We could invite you into the team. Now that's an important information. So you can join the team if you know the Mocha. So what else? We'll cover some additional concepts. The very few one. The series was first kind of publicized a year ago. So the idea came in 2015, and then it took him so much time to start actually the production. So it was the dormitory. Everyone was supposed to live in dormitory. That was the room of the main protagonist. What about the next slide? No, the previous one. Okay, so this is the way I drew them back in 2015. So fairly primitive one. Andre was kind of unchanged, and I took him as a prototype of my best friend working in the Nova Poshta. And what's his attitude? Well, it was great. He was the sound of this protagonist back in 2015. So now he's happy that I'm showing him as a friend in a normal way. Well, hopefully he's not asking for money, because I'm like, look, I'm a famous person, I'm a protagonist of a cartoon. Then we'll make a disclaimer that all the comparisons are just, coming out of the blue. Then there is a story. His girlfriend was not happy with the way I'm showing him, because he's a party guy, and when I met him, he was sort of like that. But so I got a few words out of his girlfriend, but then she decided she's okay with that. That's the first version of the Alisa and the old Dean. At first I wasn't thinking of him like that. There's an old version of him with hair, so you can see my level of drawing at that time was kind of a bit primitive in terms of my drawing, but then they sort of changed a bit. I'm very happy with how they look like now. Well, the haircut of Letizia, well, that's horrible. I'm still shy about that. That's your personal photo, because you were just clicking one after that. Now that's a treasure, because that was the first cartoon that I started on YouTube, but it was horrible in terms of the script. But the idea was wonderful, so I would like to implement that. But maybe it's going to be our next project. If we'll be able to, to develop. That's a few more screenshots from that cartoon. So that's the kind of University of Chuparsky, but in the fantasy setting. Yes, I did want to come up with something new. So the fantasy version was earlier than the University of Chuparsky. So the original version of the protagonist looked like that. There was a title, and then there was a dwarf, and he wasn't speaking, and he had no face, but he was supposed to be the best friend. And it was the first series of the University of Chuparsky. At that time, it was called Bad Day Club, but I didn't like that name. It's about our life, and sometimes we're compared with Rick and Morty. So the story is like that. Well, surely we understand why they are comparing that, because the protagonists, they kind of similar a bit to the Rick and Morty's, and the stylistics. We have also the professor who's the scientist, and the fantasy is all the same, but a couple of words as an explanation. Back in 2015, I wasn't watching the Rick and Morty. I drew another protagonist, but I don't have it. I wanted to be different from Futurama, because Futurama is something iconic. Now, in order to have a different stylistics, I made a longer legs and hands, and then I said, okay, I made a discovery. Then I saw Rick and Morty, and then I understood that I haven't created anything new. So that's the old versions of the University of Chuparsky. There was another version that was called not the Bad Eye Club, but Ex-Student. The plot was horrible, so it's not on YouTube. So it was on the YouTube, but you deleted that. Yes, there was so many videos. You can't even imagine. And what about the comments? There were bad comments, or no. I watched that after some time, and then I realized what nobody has to see that. And there wasn't too many views of that, so not too many people viewed that. What about now? How many views do you have? How many subscribers do you have on your channel? I think we have something like over 37,000 subscribers. On the average, we have 7,200,000 views. Okay. Yeah, I would really like, to ask you to subscribe, but since I guess you already subscribed, so maybe the other people would be able to subscribe to this channel. Just a couple of words about YouTube. YouTube as a platform for the amateur animator is something really wonderful, because in the beginning, it's very difficult for you to analyze the audience that you're working with if you don't have the experience of if that's your first TV project, you won't be able to see the complete statistics. While YouTube, as the first platform that you can launch a cartoon series, is very useful, because you can change, you can modify on your own, you can see the age of the audience. You can see the sex or the parts of the TV series that they watch more, and that allows you to change the script, to set the scenes properly. Besides, YouTube is very useful because it will teach you how to censor your product properly. Since we have a comedy cartoons for adults, well, sometimes we do have obscene words or different topics, but YouTube will always tell you what's wrong with your product because you'll be able to see different warnings. So we are very careful in working with that, and we fall within the category of 16 plus, and YouTube allows that. So you as the amateur animators, that would be very, very comfortable. Besides, YouTube can become a very kind of good source of your initial funding. If anyone yesterday saw this story about teaching how to fill in the grant applications, you can try your first project with YouTube, and then you may use the support of the audience. For example, we are using all the funds we have from the audience, so we're not receiving any grants, we don't have any funding.
So Mykola is drawing everything. We together create the script. Mykola is animating. I then do the editing and do the voiceovers. So in fact, all the material is done by two of us. Those are 20-minute episodes, and we had 6 of them during the year. That's a lot of work, as I think. That's super lot of work, and it seems to me that guys really showed the studios how it should be done, or should be done, as they say. That the big studios think that it's expensive, it takes a lot of time, but the guys are doing that on their own, so you just hacked the system, as it seemed to me. You just went and did it, so you are the living proof that if you want it, if you dream about it, if you'd like to do something cool, you just go there and do that. That's it. In fact, not a single other extra formula which would help you. Just go and do that. Yes, that's true. And in fact, as we are not the people from the industry, we're getting to know how to do that on the go. We got acquainted with some other people, and we are feeling constantly on the rise. We are interested in our project because we're instantly and all the time we are searching for something new. YouTube is useful because of its critique. You can always find the feedback for your product, and it's very convenient because, as you know which topics can be used, what's interesting for the viewer, what's the positive and negative response, so it's very useful as well. Why it is important to tell about ourselves? If you launched your project at YouTube or any other platform, just start with the Wikipedia article at least, because lots of animators think that even if they work as a commission of the TV, it's their auteur project. So to create the page at IMDb or at Wikipedia should be done by the producer of the TV channel. It's highly desirable for you to know how it should be done, because the opportunity to Google your project from the internet is definitely important. We have created the article in Wikipedia. We started with that. We found out how it is done at IMDb. Then we began working with mass media. So in fact, I came to Facebook, I looked at the people who are writing articles about the culture, the cinema, the TV shows, sent press releases to them, so the Chuparsky University has become viral product online, because we were not with the industry. It was not that easy for us to promote ourselves. We did not have the start funding for advertisement. First of all, we used ads in YouTube, but still it will not push your project that much if in comparison with people's disseminating it. Personal contacts, do you said hello, are you interested in us, please write about us, we can speak. This is how we do that, right? Yes, I created the press release beforehand. I prepared all the media files. I told in a nutshell and explained that you may tell about us, maybe you wouldn't. So I wrote about 30 people, and only a couple of them responded. Some of them responded without even us involvement of ours, so it helped us in the beginning. So as far as I know, young and not that young animators are ashamed to PR themselves. It's not that convenient, they don't know what to do. But still, let me tell a couple of words for everybody to understand why it is necessary. Even Brad Pitt is creating advertisement. Even Brad Pitt, why does he need ads? But he creates posts, pictures, teasers, photo sessions, Q&A sessions. So he needs that. What can we say then about the beginners? If you don't tell about yourselves, no one will get to know about you. This world is not created like that you are so talented, extraordinary, new Tim Burton, and someone will come to your apartment and tell, "That's you, let me promote you," or "Let me tell about you." So listen to the guys, they are right, definitely it should be done, so I give the floor back to you. I need just to support young animators. Don't be afraid to speak about yourself. And we'd like to say that we got to a very hard period of time because the war is ongoing, so we had that impact as well. As soon as episode 1 was out, everything seemed to be wonderful, but during episode 2 we had lots of issues because we had blackouts. So in fact I was creating episode 2 3 or 4 hours per day. My life hack is to go to the older job of mine, they had power generators. Yes, the process was a bit longer. For about 3 months we have been creating this episode, but we did it and I am in fact satisfied with the outcome. Did you go to the indomitability point? No, that was my older job where I worked for 6 years. I came to them, I know many people there, so I sat there and created animation. Cool. So Nova Poshta helps to create animation as well. I also created sound at the cafe close to my home. The Chuparsky University is a 100% remote project. Together with Mykola, we met personally just yesterday for the first time. We're working for a year, but we got acquainted yesterday. We never met before. And one of the actors of voiceover, we saw him for the first time yesterday. He just visited us. Digitalization of the country, full digitalization. Also, we make the remote voiceover, which helped us a lot because we're not spending money for the studio, and we're working with the people from the YouTubers and fun-tappers who were creating voiceovers of anime and TV shows, and they're really coping with their work because if we worked with the professional dubbing actors, our characters would be more artificial. But as we are working with the fun-tappers from different parts of Ukraine, but they are still experienced, still each of the characters has his or her own regional identification. You can even find out where they are from according to their way of speaking. And this is why we faced, as we are in YouTube, we recently faced one issue. When we launched the series, as we were saving money, we were using the not original music, but taken from the stock service of music. We had very nice orchestral music, but we did not spend money for the composer. We just used the subscription for our YouTube channel only. But several Ukrainian streamings came to us with the offer to post University of Chuparsky at their place, and we cannot do that. That was the issue. Because our musical copyright can be used only at our YouTube channel. So now we try to find funding or to solve this issue in any other way to create our original music. But if this is done in the YouTube, stock music is a very good choice still, because it will give you an opportunity to save some money at the starting stage. That's an interesting information because yes, if you are the beginners, then you can do whatever you want at your YouTube channel. But still, if you go to Megogo, did you offer it to Megogo? I'd like you to be at Megogo and other streamings at Tatflix, and for everybody to know you and watch you. Then of course you'll need to play serious. You'll need to understand that it should be done perfectly. You have unique characters, unique music, unique script, and so on. Copyright still needs to be known. And yes, I understand that for the creativity it's a bit too complicated, it's hard to find out the truth, but creative people need to understand the technical part of the job. We cannot be just scriptwriters or artists or whatever. We need to know how to edit, which apps to use. So please do that. If you don't have the inspiration, do that without the inspiration. I don't like to get into budgeting as well. Just do that if you'd like. Just don't allow yourself, because of lack of skills, not to do that, not to create your project. Let you not be scared by that. Nobody knows how to do that properly, and even the coolest and the most experienced make mistakes, so it's totally okay. Copyright is important, hey-ho. Mykola, tell us about the plans for the future. What are our future plans? I'm interested in that as well. That was the question. By the way, what are our plans for the future? Honestly speaking, to finalize season 1, we planned 10 episodes. We've already written the script, what will be in those episodes, and we're thinking what will be in season 2. We created the whole arc and we know the fates of the characters. If we really manage to launch some other project, it could be Angelicon, as we showed it to you before, but it would be much better. Did you calculate how much money you need for Helicon? Not so far. We did not calculate for Chuparsky. So how much money do you need for Chuparsky? Oh, that's a secret. Okay, got it. So just wink to us if you can tell us. So in fact, do you have the sponsorship by the viewers? Yes. Does it cover the production of the episodes or not, or 50-50? In fact, that's enough as of now, but to develop our YouTube channel altogether would be the better, the quicker development. Then we need funding. I'm the only one who does animation, and if I'm out of the process because of some sickness, for instance, or disease, the project is stagnating. So I need some animators. It's not a problem to train them. We just need people, and we need to pay them. It's interesting. Who would like to work on Chuparsky? Perfect, cool. People would like to. You need to get acquainted with these people, because you do understand that the team of the people is a very important story. Well, yesterday we were speaking about pitchings. Well, we were just present together with Mykhailo and Mykola, and they told us about the pitchings and all the ideas. So will you submit your applications for the pitchings, or will you provide crowdfunding? Will you create some fundraising? We'll try. From time to time we do that. I'm doing with that, the search of some grant programs and so on, but there are lots of details, because rather often to pitch your project you need to have legally registered studio. This should be, in best case scenario, it should be the LLC, and that's very hard because then it's tax service. If you have the sole proprietor status, many countries don't consider it to be legally active, so they wouldn't be willing to cooperate with you. This is the main issue. But still we are searching for options. We'll see. But if we fail with the grant, then we'll try crowdfunding, or maybe we'll go on how we do that as much as we can. So far we can. Perfect. Okay, can we maybe ask... would you like to answer the questions from the audience? Maybe the audience first, or should we watch something? Yes, we can move to the questions, and in the end we'll find one video, the fragment from the new episode, from the intro, which we animated, but without the voice-over, not to have spoilers, but it is interesting. Still, we are answering the questions first. Are there any questions? Please, the microphone first. You wanted to ask it long ago, now it's time, finally. Good day. I need to confess, I've never seen your cartoon. I'm accidentally here, but I'm not sorry for that. You seem to be very cool. You have cool experience. I've got two questions. First, which app are you working in? All of the apps, where do you edit the video, and how much time is spent for the video editing, for the drawing itself? Let me start with the app that is Moho. So in fact I'm doing everything in Moho, in it, and I don't use any other programs and apps. Then I edit, the video is edited by Misha. Well, Mykola sends me the files which were not rendered, and at my computer I have Moho as well. Then I render them and edit them in Adobe, and all the VFX is done in, or special effects, in After Effects. Those are famous apps, so you can find out themselves if you look into them. They're rather user-friendly. There's nothing complicated there. To paint something in DaVinci would be much harder. And the second question, because I did not understand that, are you working somewhere as well? How do you find time for that? How do you live, guys? What do you eat? I'm not working anywhere. I'm just working on Chuparsky University only, because it takes lots of time. So in fact, from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. I'm sitting with a cartoon, and I have 2 days off if I can. This is the complication about the budget question as well, because our budget depends on the welfare of Mykola. If there is enough for his life, then he go on like that. If he got skinny, if he gets skinnier, then we have issues with the process. And also I work as the voiceover actor. I did it a bit with the Dog of Patron, so I earned a bit. So I do hope season 2 will start soon. So again, Mykola will have an opportunity to eat. Well, when he eats, I do not eat. Yes, we do that turn by turn. Well, it sounds funny, but in fact it's the truth about the animation. Olga, my colleague, is sitting, and she knows. She's from the bigger studio where we worked at the big studios, so she knows if you want to do something on your own, you stop eating. You leave your job, because you cannot simultaneously do 2 jobs. You cannot just simultaneously clone yourself, and one person would go and bring food home, and the other person would sit from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. This is the way of animation. Unfortunately, this is how it works, and it's really sad for me that Ukrainian animation has so many talented people who need, well, they don't need even money, they need some food, and they will create the episode. What I say. I can also add, a couple of years ago, I tried to launch animation series, The Club of the Bad Day. I had lots of feedback, and we launched it. I could go on with that, but there was the issue. I was rather poor. I was working at the Nova Poshta, and they offered promotion to me. I chose promotion. I was sorry about that, but still I came back to animation. Still it was good, because I could increase my level of animation, and now I could launch Chuparsky University as it is now. So you can come to animation in any possible way. I'd like to emphasize that training and the foundation is important, but first of all, if you go to the university, Chuparsky University. If you go to university and you're just sitting there and it's not interesting for you, why do you do that? Or you're going to get some higher education, it cannot interfere into your development in any sphere which you love. Look at the guys. And I have the question, by the way, why do the biggest studios have never done such a TV series of such a level, but they can do that, they can do much more. They have extra top employees. You don't need to study there as the guys who work for several years to promote animation and to show the whole animation series. They can do that, but they don't do that. But the guys are doing that. And in fact, this is the cool example for you, that you have an opportunity to do that. I'm sure that in a couple of years we'll meet somewhere at Berlinale and everything will be cool. You will be shown, you will be in some program, and someone of the buyers will tell, how much does it cost? And the guys will tell, no, wait, we'll have all the rights. Olga, do you have the question or the offer? Hello everyone, guys, thank you first of all for your work. And I'd like to emphasize that to be similar to Rick and Morty is already awarding. So to be similar to someone of such level is really cool. So I thank you for what you are doing, first of all. And I have the following question. I was a bit late for the beginning. So is that only two of you? And you don't have any team? So you are drawing and animating on your own? Yes, me. Only I do that. Mykola is creating the video part, I create the sound part. So just two of you, like Rick and Morty, you're working together. Well, we have the voiceover actors, okay, but still the TV show itself, I would say that 75% of the work is done by us. Oля asks about that because she cannot believe that. It's super cool because it's really the level. I wish you further development and don't lose how it is being developed now, because it's really valuable. What you're doing, that is cool. Thank you. Olga, by the way, is a very cool teacher in Projector. She creates the characters. So if the guys can ask anything from you, I can give you your contacts. And if you're interested in any questions, perfect. That's really cool. Olga is very cool. She can help you. Okay, any other questions? Yes, there is the question, please.
Okay, we'll get an employment session right now, I guess. We'll select your team. I don't have a question, but rather a feedback for you. First, thank you for what you're doing, and comparing to Rick and Morty, thank you for doing such a Ukrainian product. This Ukrainian kind of just something like a bit of something Ukrainian that you really want to watch, something that you want to support, because Ukrainian, I really enjoying that. That's wonderful. Do some merchandising products. I'll buy them all. Yes. Why don't you come out and demonstrate? Well, that's the first batch. We'll starting a few things on Monday already. I've got a t-shirt in my backpack once again, and I just received it yesterday. We're preparing an advertising. On Monday we'll start the advertising kind of advertising stuff, and we have a t-shirt with Osti, with Professor, with the Dean. So there's a total of 3 t-shirts, and that's a sweatshirt and 2 t-shirts. We're also planning a few more things. We've done a design. We haven't launched it yet. We'll have a small kind of a testing batch with the Kiev clothing brand algorithm. It has a very decent quality, so just wait for more on Monday. Yes, good, wonderful. Oh, Alexandra, wonderful. Great that you've joined us. Well, doing the script, that's very difficult. Yes, right. So, a big question for you. Do you have like kind of quarrels, like, hey, it should be like that, now it should be like that, now this protagonist should be doing this one, or it should be kind of rather that one? Do you have a kind of artistic disputes? Well, we have some, but rather small one. Well, we don't have something like, well, I'm not happy with something like that, and my colleague is unhappy about other stuff, so we are capable of, reaching the compromise and searching for the best solution. Well, someone, kind of reiterates or something like that. So it's kind of a brainstorming process. You trust one another. That's very important. By the way, this brain trust, it's crucial. This is something that I haven't mentioned at Patron, but when you really understand one another, when you really listen to one another, because if you're in cinema business, like, you sometimes hear, I give you the money, so you do whatever you want, and the guys here are cool because they're paying food for their own money. You're using their own money for producing this series. Is there any censorship or something that you don't do in the series, or maybe you've seen some comments in YouTube and you decided that we're not going to do that? So you had any serious issues with the censorship? Yes. From the first very session, we were accused of misogyny. There was a first kind of joke, my own joke. I wrote the script for the first series on my own. Maybe I kind of overwhelmed a bit. That was a couple of years ago. The series was produced a year ago, but I wrote the script many years ago. There was a joke about ugly girlfriend, and then we decided not to. We thought we would be changing the first series. Then we had a protagonist entry, and he has a character that he can be coming up with jokes like that. And it's not that we are thinking so, but it's just that the protagonists, they have their own, character. They have their own behaviors. Plus, you have an audience of 16 plus. So it's a big thing. It's an important one because Rick and Morty. Well, there's a lot of trash stuff on there. So you could be, claiming, accusing them of many things because they're trying to mock everything around. So I guess if you'd be doing something like that, the police might be taking you and be questioning you for many hours. So 16 plus, 18 plus audience, well, it gives you sort of liberties. What about obscene words? Don't you have any problems? We do use obscene words, but sometimes it's one per series or two per series, and it's not used as an obscene word by itself, but to kind of make sure we demonstrate certain emotions, and it's like a joke. We're not using that because the protagonists are using that, but we just want to underline something emotional. So if something is happening, like what is happening, okay, whatever words are you using? Okay, now anyone who would like to find for some obscene words, then you have to watch Chuparsky University. Well, we're not trying to camouflage that or to mask that, because in the first series, the YouTube was not allowing to have any obscene lexics. But then, I think the YouTube has changed some of the policies and rules on the second series. Or maybe YouTube watched your series and says that, okay, forget about them, let them use these obscene words. Maybe we started changing that when YouTube changed the policy. And once again, I'd like to say that we are pointing looking at the comments as well as the YouTube policies. Anything you've read in terms of the comments and you changed? Well, if there was some fruitful critics, then we're okay. Because if there is a comment that we wrote something wrong on the wall and things like that, we had an issue with spelling or something like that, so we tried to correct them or cover the wall or something like that with another color. Yes, good. So I guess I'm in your team because I sort of have an issue with spelling as well, because sometimes the editors are reading what I'm writing and saying, hey, you came up with this word, where'd you get this? How are you writing that? Okay, good. So what's the attitude of your family? And how about the mother's attitude to this project? Because the family is watching like, son, what you doing? You quit the job and you're doing a cartoon. Like, what do you have for lunch? I mean, do you pay for your food? How do you pay you exactly for everything? Well, at first they thought that, well, it's nonsense. But then when I showed him that I'm receiving income, then it's good. So he came home with flowers, with cake, many other things, and mother would be asking like, hey, where'd you get that? Are you stolen that? No, I've earned that from the YouTube. Okay, so your social status in the family has increased. Well, I came to Chuparsky from YouTube. I have a Pan Karpan, that's a YouTube channel, and I already learned how to show my works. Oh, by the way, if any one of you haven't seen University Chuparsky, then find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. And I'm saying that to all of my relatives, like, oh, you haven't seen it, let me show it to you. Just recently my friend said I'm not watching TV series like that, and I responded like, hey, are you a friend of mine or not? I understand you might be not watching the Futurama, but and then he on the next day he would be writing to me. Yes, I've seen your series, and even found a mistake or something like that. And my family is watching, relatives are watching, and giving me the feedback. And there was one person from a terrorist country on its Telegram channel wrote, "Oh God, so now Ukraine has movies like that. So it's not only about Bandera. What's happening? Oh, horror." Something like that. Oh God. Anyone wrote something about this on YouTube, or anyone of your friends mentioned that? Are you going to make fun of that? Well, we tried to use that news, just as I was sending press release to all the newspapers, and I did press release on that. And now the magazines are saying that we're not willing to, to write about this in YouTube or on the news. We don't want to write about Russians on the news. So the series started with this period of time when there was a lot of military movies on Hollywood and in Disney. So we used the same stylistics. We made an intro about the Ukrainian superhero, Sergeant Ukrainian Force, and this Russian propaganda said that it's the whole cartoon is all about that. Well, good. But that's a recognition when such an inadequate person is quoting things from Chuparsky. So it's good, I guess. One more question. So, greetings. My name is Danya. I'm a fan, big fan. I have a question. So, how do you settle the partnership issues? I mean, if you have any legal aspects, we're planning, how do you divide the shares? How are you going to kind of decide that in future? Have you thought of that? I wanted to give a joke that they kind of eat one after another. Well, we have spendings on every series. We do have some of the accounting, and then we divide based on the share of the work that I'm doing. I kind of do 15% of the work. Mykola is doing 85% of the work. So that's how we earn. For example, if we take any animator, will identify the share of the work that he's doing. Maybe we'll come up with a different proposal, but we'll make sure he's going to eat as well, or earn the money for food as well. Good. Do you monetize the YouTube channel? Do you have any income on that? Yes, we use that. So the monetization is just the same as the other YouTube channels. Is that important? Well, the income is not that big, but at least it's something. So it's not giving a serious income, but we have Patron. When Patron has become a hype, we've made another thing. We've started subscribing, but and Buy My Coffee, there wasn't too many subscribers. Plus, the sponsorship takes 50% of the total amount, and they're taking 30% at the partner. Well, as the sponsor subscription, and then there have tax for Google. That's 20%. Then there's the 3% of the fee. So out of YouTube, you get 50% of the total money. That's monetization for the views and monetization of sponsor subscription. But Patron and Buy My Coffee, you get all the amount, because there's the fee of the bank, plus they might be taking 3 to 15%. Okay, the very final question. A question more to Mykola about the script writing. How do you do that? Any tools you're using for writing the scripts? How do you select the ideas, any jokes? Is there kind of a focus group that you're working with? Well, how do I write the script? Well, I have the ideas, on the random basis. You just walk around the street and you get the idea for the new TV series. We've already written what the TV series, what the next series of the first season will look like. I might be writing something, and then Mykola writes the first version, and then I do some proposals or comments. He might agree something or disagree. He can offer some of his ideas, of his versions, so we can have some mutual versions and comments. If there's too many comments, then Mykola would create a version of another script and says that, look, I've written a new series or something. I think the last series we've rewritten it 3 or 4 times. I think the scenario was the major issue. We wanted to make it good, and people responded it was good. So, how much time do you need for writing a draft? Like 20 minutes or something? Because it's like 20 pages. Usually it's around 14 pages per one series. So it takes me around a week to write a scenario. So something like 2.5 pages per day. If there is a great inspiration, then I can write half of a scenario per day. If there's ideas, then I'm writing the script very fast. If there's no ideas, I might be changing. I might be stopping at the certain episode and then just writing and rewriting. So big question. Mykola in the beginning said about the sofa, about coming up with the idea, but how Mykola found Mykhailo. So how do you get acquainted with one another? How you joined the project? Well, it was long time ago. I know he was kind of a voice artist. Yes, I was doing a voiceover for Chuparsky. I was working with this project. So he wrote on the portal and I got in touch with him. And before that, I was subscribed to the channel. I wanted to cooperate, so we kind of wrote one another. We decided to do something together. And then Mykola said that he will do a new series of Bad Day Club and will do a new voiceover. But then the new actors from the fan-up, they cooperated with us on Chuparsky, so they wrote Mykola and they made a new version of the Bad Day Club, the one that is on the YouTube now. So when we started Chuparsky University, Mykola said that we have a new script. So we kind of started working on that. So the first series was done by Mykola, and I saw that it's a wonderful project, that we really need to invest all of our efforts and inspiration into that. So I joined in and started helping with whatever I can, because, talking to people, creating pages on Wikipedia and doing something on social networks, that takes a lot of time. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm taking all the works except for the animation. So Mykola is doing everything for the series, and I communicate. I search for grants. I draw posters, and I might be writing some posts on social networks. Good. Just wanted to say that I'm a big fan of your project, and every series is like a holiday, and you're just waiting, looking for all the series. I'm trying to spread the cartoon among all the friends I know. So is there any chance we could cooperate? Like volunteer, I'm ready to take any instructions just to join this project, and any requirements you have, like the availability of the graphical tablet or just enormous desire. Well, enormous desire, yes, that's going to be the title for the new series. So let's have the answer to this question, and because we have a Zoom from our colleagues from abroad. So is there a chance to join in case of a great desire? Yeah. But it's a long process, so you can reach us by email. The Mykola's channel has an email. We have an Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You can make a comment on YouTube, and if there is a sense, we respond. I think there's many options for cooperation. We have people writing subtitles, translating them into Polish, into English, so we can think of something, surely. Anyone you wanted to show in the very end? So let's kind of let's show that. One more question. Greetings. I'm fascinated really with your series. I really like the humor. So I wanted to ask Mykola, because maybe he's writing, or maybe Mykhailo writing. Do you have any troubles with that? How do you write the jokes? Well, just on the move. You think of a scene, and then the joke is something that you come up with automatically. I don't know how to explain that. I think the other experts would know how it happens, but mostly like they've done it automatically. Misha can write a comment, and I come up with a joke that could be there. Well, in addition to kind of jokes with words, there's other visual jokes and maybe other jokes. So we're planning to show you a small part from a new series, and this finishes the kind of the official portion. So great to see all of you. Thanks for all of your questions. I'm very happy to see you.